Go away. But yeah, there's some Stig automation tools now that can do stuff like this, like config OS. It basically just has an agent, but you can comply, whether you need it to be a classified system or not, basically. You can even deploy like a vanilla Windows, deploy the agent, and then within 5 or 10 minutes, have it compliant at the DoD level that's required instead of having to go through such a manual build, nasty manual build cycle. Um, for me, it's like, I used to have like, SCSCM services, for imaging lots of computers at home, but, nowadays, like if you have multiple clients, it becomes kind of a pain in the neck to have like a nice base image and then basically have to break the base image or put all of their corporate, lovely images in there and then all that good stuff for the warning, change out the warnings and stuff. So it's sort of better to use like a vanilla Windows image and then just have scripts that I can drop into the USB key or over a network share that does the same thing. It cooks up a base image, deploys like a vanilla Windows image, and then I can use like box starter shell to do most of the dirty work. Right here.
Yeah, I've been on the vendor end of the FedRAMP side, the FedRAMP certification, where my customer wanted to get FedRAMP, and they had to come back to me and say, "Here's all the things we need you to fix in your app," which was a challenge, but we eventually got there, but it was a challenge.
Anyway, here's like NT Lite. You can take like an ISO and stuff like that. It has different tools. You can download updates. But anyways, like you can bake server images with this. You can apply like uh, certain patches pre done in so doing. But as I said, like as part of the post, it's like if you get load, yeah, load just so I can show you the toys. But like NT Lite for like $200 for a like enterprise license, so you can do like all kinds of manipulations to the image. But anyways, you can take a stock Windows 10 image, you can have it like script deploy or PowerShell deploy, like all of your security policies, register with Intune, uh, you know, or you can even use like the Windows 10 provisioning pack toy to like join the system to the domain and stuff like that. So, you can do that all with like, just DOS scripting and PowerShell. So like Box Starter will deploy some stuff. You can have certain Windows features turned on or off for a user, like if you're using like the virtual Linux system or not, or hardening out your system to where that does not go on for a user except if they're part of like, say, a developer group. You can turn different Windows features on. You can turn device lockdown on, or you know, uh, shell launcher on. You can turn these features on and off. Settings, which is on and off, which services are manual or automatic, which extra services, like say for certain cards, like the post setup, you can say add file, and then you can have like, hey, I want this. And I've compiled the PowerShell, like Scoop is like a add there, so I can add the Windows PowerShell service. Uh, Jump Cloud Linux install, script there, yay. My org, but I can add the various, basically commands, what I want to do. Run this script, run that script, join domain. You can basically then, deploy the nice, pretty screensaver for DoD. Like if I wanted to run the Iron Stig, then apply the agent for this, and then basically then pretty much after the system boots for the first time and I log into it, then everything else that needs to do to lock it down kicks off. So then I don't have to go through the as manual of a process of rebuilding the image and plus this post install step. You can kind of further manipulate the commands afterwards. You can add a file. Like if I want to add like the OEM wallpaper or something for like ASUS or whatever else, you can kind of do that. And basically, once it starts a DOS command, you can just keep adding to it. Plus, it's already pre-patched. And Chocolatey, I can keep all of the Chocolatey or WinGit, I can keep all of the applications on a system patched. I don't know if Microsoft is ever going to get WinGit as a plugin yet, but there's a integration for WinGit into SSCM, because basically WinGit you can use to patch the applications on a system pretty easily as well. You can, Chocolatey can update some of the commands, and for ones that Chocolatey doesn't get, very easy. The only one this will not update is Spotify, because Spotify is like is installed on the users folders. So like if you have like virtual machines and stuff like that for Uncle Sam, you can keep all of the Firefox and all the Chrome and all the other goodies from being penetratable by running like Chocolatey and or other scripts pretty often. I mean, here you can see which stuff's out of date, even if it's not that far out of date. You can pretty much patch it with one or two commands, patch like multiple software. YubiKey Authenticator, you can set that up to where I can even, if you have a pin for Windows, and it's a easy to guess pin, you can make it to where they have to plug in the YubiKey, but the YubiKey basically is like a CAC-like card. It's like a thumb drive looking deal, and then they have to click on the brass plate as well as supply the pin to log into Windows. So you can make Windows, pretty hardened as far as login. So, all of these applications over here, WinGit will update based on their versions. So you can, keep all of any applications you install for users, developers, and otherwise fairly, up to date. plus it makes it much easier than because you can, as I said, like if the user is far away and their base system's in the cloud, um, instead of having to ship them copies of software, you can literally deploy it um, pretty much with Chocolatey and or other means, like you can other scripts using Chocolatey as a backend, but then you can use like a script that drops in, say, the Windows 2020 2022 licensing key for Office or 2019. And if you've ever seen, apt-get for Linux, for especially Debian, uses pretty much the exact copy-paste syntax. Um, it'll update like anything that like cloud applications like Atom. It'll update rather frequently. Some applications like you can even use it to update the device drivers, so you don't have to administrate them. The nicety of it is I can use the Windows Task Scheduler to also administrate some of these. So like my stepson and my fiance aren't nagging me because, hey, I've got a virus, or hey, why am I getting my Chrome is like out of date, or takes one less worry out of my head because I can fully automate it. And SSCM you can integrate Chocolatey 2 to basically be an app store for it. So SSCM will do the dirty work, and then Chocolatey just provides the back end. But I can also dump the configuration from a machine that I like and basically save it as a backup file and then get Chocolatey to do it. If I want to provide like the App Store type of feel for users, if you're doing like the bring your own device type deal, you can deploy Citrix, whole 9 yards. So like Chocolatey GUI will give a nice GUI-fied application for even the most clueless of user, but you can also set policies for what they can and cannot install as well. Chocolatey also has Chocolatey for Business, so probably you can even deploy the DoD applications with it. But if it's a civilian side application, you can kind of filter it or filter down what they want, whether they have access to the public repo or the Chocolatey for Business repo, which the free repo is always good. But then if you're a Chocolatey for paying customer, then you can get access to those too. Chocolatey for Business, so you can also have it watch applications and learn. You can then generate like a NuGet file for you to basically install the same application, and store it on your, cloud. For Puppet, Chef, SaltStack, or even Ansible, Chocolatey for Windows is the preferred backend already. Ansible, if you have Ansible for automating Windows deploys, it will do much of this as is.